Okay. So we were discussing about the second order differential equation, and in last class I told you about the homogeneous equations in which right side was 0, and I told you about all the possibilities. But we have not solved the question. So let us quickly revise the formula. What will be the formula for that? For homogeneous equations. So if the roots are real and distinct, the solution is c1 e to the power m1x plus c2 e to the power m2x. If the roots are real but equal, then the solution is given by c1 plus c2x e to the power mx. And if the roots are complex, then the solution is given by e to the power alpha x, a cos beta x plus b sin beta x. So these are the three cases which we have to consider. Now I will take questions today. So let us solve some questions. So let me take a question. Y double dash plus y is equal to 0. This is suppose the differential equation, and y0 is equal to 3 and y dash 0 is equal to 0 point minus 0.15. Suppose this is the condition that is given. Okay. So please see this equation. This is a second order differential equation in which the right hand side is 0, and because it is a second order differential equation, so we need two conditions to solve it. So let us solve this. So it will be given by d square plus 1y is equal to 0. Then it will become d square plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay. So the value of d will become 0 plus minus iota. Please see this. The roots will be complex and the value of alpha is 0, and what is beta? Beta is 1. So what is the solution of this equation? The solution will be given by e to the power 0x a cos beta x. So what it will become? A cos x plus
plus
b
b sin x.
sin x. This is the solution, and the values of the constant a and b will be calculated by using these two conditions. Okay. So let us use the first condition. So it will be given by y0 is equal to 3. So 3 is equal to a, because you will put x is equal to 0. So this will become 0 and this will become 1. Okay. Now the value of a is 3, and now what is the value of y dash 0? So now y is equal to 3 cos x plus b sin x. So calculate the derivative first. So y dash will be equal to minus 3 sin x plus b cos of x. Okay. And apply the value. Y dash 0 is minus 0.5. So minus 0.5 will be equal to b. Okay. Because x is equal to 0, you will put this will become 0, and cos of 0 will become equal to 1. So what will be the solution of our equation? That will be given by y is equal to minus 3 sin x minus 0.15 cos of x. Please check this.
So that
This
is
is y
y
dash.
dash.
Sorry, uh, y value of y I have to write, not y dash. Y will be equal to a cos x. So it will be 3 cos x, and value of b is this minus 0.15 sine of x. So this is the solution. This is the solution. And if you want to plot it, so see, otherwise plot is difficult, but you can just make a guess that at x is equal to 0 it will have some value 3, yes, and after that it is sinusoidal, so it will go something like this. Okay, so you can just make a guess that the graph will look like this, because it is a combination of sine and cos, so it will be sinusoidal. Okay, so I am not marking the particular values here, just roughly I have made the sinusoidal graph. So this is a very nice question to understand how this works. देखो एक बार अच्छे से समझ आया. All steps are clear. So this will be the method to solve second order differential equation. आपको ऐसे ही सॉल्व करना है, और बहुत बार एक क्वेश्चन पूछा जाता है from this. So I am erasing this just to tell you that the in homogeneous equation, a very good example can be oscillator, mechanical oscillator. So see, what are the elements in mechanical oscillator? If I write, you have force on this side, m d2x by dt2, and that is equal to minus, if you see there is a damping, then you will write minus b dx by dt, and if there is a restoring term, you will write minus kx, and there is suppose no external force, just because I am discussing the homogeneous case in which right hand side is equal to 0. So if you write it properly, you will see d2x by dt2 plus b by m dx by dt plus k of x is equal to 0. Please see, this is the equation of a damped oscillator. Damped oscillator. Okay, damped oscillator means damp word is used because the amplitude dies out with time. Amplitude continuously decreases with time. So that's why we use the term damped oscillator.
हेलो सर.
हाँ बोलो.
सर के बाई एम है ना, के बाई एम
k by m. So the same equation can be written in more proper way. It is written like this: plus 2 gamma dx by dt. Okay, and plus omega naught square x is equal to 0. So this is called damping constant, and this is called the fundamental frequency. This omega naught is known as fundamental frequency. Okay. So please see, this is also an example of your equation where right hand side is equal to 0. So we can solve this equation also the same way we have solved the what? Previous equation. So jara karna. Let us solve it quickly. So it will become d square plus 2 gamma d plus omega naught square into x is equal to 0. So this will be equal to 0. You will put this is equal to 0 for your solution of differential equation. So it will become minus 2 gamma plus minus under root 4 gamma square b square minus 4 ac 4 omega naught square upon 2 times. So this will become minus gamma plus minus under root gamma square minus omega naught square. Please see this. And if you remember, This term is damping term, and this term is restoring term. तो कोई ऑसिलेटर है सपोज, जैसे कोई झूला है, तो ये वो वाला टर्म है जो उसको वापस इक्विलिब्रियम पोजीशन में लेके आता है, और ये बिकॉज वेलोसिटी डिपेंडेंट है तो ये वाला टर्म है जो वेलोसिटी की वजह से उसके ऊपर ड्रैग फोर्स लगता है, यानी अपोजिट फोर्स लगता है, रोकने वाला फोर्स लगता है. ओके, सो दिस वन इज योर damping term and this is your restoring term. So please see this. This is your solution. So you can write the solution as uh, now from here you see how the values of this oscillator they decide कि ये oscillate करेगा या सीधा डैम्प हो जाएगा या oscillate करते हुए डैम्प होगा. All these will be decided by this. If your gamma square is greater than omega naught square, then obviously under root inside value will be
Positive.
positive. Then your exponential terms will play. It will be damped. But if this gamma square is less than omega naught square, then it will have complex root. And what type of
Sinusoidal.
sinusoid? इसके ऊपर नेट में 5 नंबर का क्वेश्चन पूछा गया, जस्ट शायद पिछली बार ही. Okay, so see this carefully. Depending on that gamma square is greater than omega naught square or gamma square is less than omega naught square, it is damped or oscillatory depending on these two conditions, which is so simple because you know that if it becomes less than this, under root will become complex and your solutions will be in the form of sine and cosine, which is means sinusoidal solutions. So in this case it will become sinusoidal. Is this okay? सो आप चाहे किसी क्वेश्चन को इस फॉर्म में देख रहे हो या नहीं देख रहे हो, वो है डैम्ड ऑसिलेटर टाइप की ही इक्वेशन. जैसे मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं. सपोज आई राइट अ इक्वेशन लाइक दिस, d2x by dt2 plus minus 3 dx by dt plus 2x is equal to 0. So you can compare this equation with this, and the boundary conditions are x is equal to 0 at t is equal to 0 and x is equal to 1 at t is equal to 1 and x equal to 2 पूछा गया है. What is x is equal to 2? That has been asked. This is the question. I hope you can do it quickly. Okay. So now let us solve this. तो आप हर टॉपिक के लिए फॉर एवरी टॉपिक यू कांट स्पेयर टाइम कि आप बाद में अपने आप पढ़ोगे. देर आर फ्यू टॉपिक्स विच you have to finish in the class itself, and these topics are one of them because you will be pressurized with so many other important topics for which you have to pay time. So such topics you can cover in my class itself with me only. You can finish it here only. So see, this is the question. I have told you everything. So let us try to do it. It will become d square minus 3d plus 2 is equal to 0, and it is 2d square, so it will become minus d minus 2d plus 2 is equal to 0. Correct? dd minus 1 minus 2d minus 1 and d minus 1 d minus 2 is equal to 0. So d is equal to 1 and 2. So what are the solutions? X is equal to C1 e to the power t plus C2 e to the power 2t. Correct? So apply the first boundary condition that x0 is 0. So C1 plus C2 will be 0. So C2 will become minus C1. Okay. So my solution will become x is equal to C1, I can take common, e to the power t minus e to the power 2t. Now second one is x of 1 is equal to 1. So 1 is equal to C1 e to the power 1 minus e to the power 2. So somewhere you got the value of C1, that is 1 upon e minus e square. And that we can substitute in the previous equation. So we will get x is equal to e to the power t minus e to the power minus 2t upon e minus e square. And now we have to find x2. So x of 2 will be equal to e to the power 2 minus e to the power 4 upon e minus e square. So you can take e square common. It will become 1 minus e square over uh, e common 1 minus e, and this is also 1 plus e 1 minus e. So 1 minus e cancelled and e also cancelled. So x of 2 became e plus e square. So this should be the flow, how you should be doing. So such questions we can't skip in exam. And I to tell you, on the basis of this, you will get question in mechanics also, and you will get question in classical mechanics also. All you need to know is the second order differential equation. देखो भाई बात समझ आ गई? Is this clear to everyone?
Yes, sir.
तो मैं कुछ questions लिख देता हूँ. I am writing few questions. You try it. And please practice few questions on the basis of this. Okay. And that I am writing for you. D2x by dt2 minus 2 dx by dt plus x is equal to 0, x0, x dot 0 is equal to 1, xt is question mark.
Sir, here x0 and x dot 0 both are 1.
X0 and x dot 0, x0 is 0, x0 is 0, x dot 0 is 1. Okay. And the second one is, so its answer is x is equal to t to the power t. Very nice question actually. And the second one is d2x by dt2 plus 2 dx by dt plus x is equal to 0, and x0 is 0, x dot is 0. So you will see that just because of this how the behavior will change. Okay. Third question is y double dash plus y dash plus 0.25y is equal to 0. Y0 is 3, y dash 0 is minus 3.5. Okay. And for second one, when it is plus, the answer is x is equal to t to the power minus t. And for this one, the solution is given by y is equal to 3 minus 2x e to the power minus x by 2. ओके सो ये बिल्कुल ही सेम पैटर्न पे है, बिल्कुल सेम पैटर्न पे क्वेश्चंस हैं एंड यू हैव टू सॉल्व देम. और let us try to plot all three of them. For example, this, how x will look like. X is t e to the power t. So how the graph will look like?
You have mentioned answers also.
Sorry,
Sir, x value which is given is the answer you have mentioned.
that you shall I tell that also? What
No,
is
sir.
no, what is the meaning of solution of a differential equation?
We are finding the value of x.
Yes, so if that is written, x is written as a function of t, so that means that is a solution. Okay,
So I got confused. Why is that mentioned? Okay.
so this I have given just to that you should correlate after calculation. Okay, so these are the three values which are the solutions. Okay, so tell me how this will look like. uh, t at t0 it will be 0, and then it will be going exponentially high. Yes, because e to the power t will be rising exponentially, and t multiplied to it will also be rising exponentially. Okay, and what about this x and t? So at t is equal to 0, but at t infinity also it is equal to 0, so that means it will acquire some maxima and then it will go to 0. Correct? समझ रहे हैं सभी लोग? Because at x is equal to 0 it is 0, when t is equal to 0 it is 0, and when t is equal to infinity also it becomes 0. So that means there will be some maxima, and you can find out this value of t where this maxima exists. That can also be a question to find out this value. कैसे निकालोगे?
Differentiation zero
Differentiate
करके
maxima minima, maxima minima, huh? Maxima minima. So you can calculate that value, and please see this value, the third one, how we can plot it. So you know, when the value of x is small, when the value of x is small, then it will follow this, and when the value of x will become very large, it will follow this. That is absolutely clear. So at x is equal to 0, the value will start from 3. That is absolutely clear. And you can see this part has negative slope. If you see y is equal to mx plus c, so इसका slope कैसा है? -2, negative है. So it will go like this, and finally at x is equal to infinity it has to become 0. So it will grow like this, and finally it will go to 0. So it's very different curve, you can see. Correct? So you can find out this point also here. This point also, that can be asked in the question. Yes?
Sir,
Yes.
sir, in second equation, that x dot 0 is equals to,
0.
sir, if in that case, then
एक मिनट,
C1 set 2.
wait, let me check. ये वाला क्वेश्चन है ना?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
d2x 1 है ये, सॉरी, दिस 1. दोनों 0 होगा तो गड़बड़ हो जाएगा ना, दोनों ही 0 आ जाएगा फिर. नाउ इट्स ओके. एंड ये भी चेक कर लेता हूँ. y0 is 3 and y dash 0 is minus 3.5. This is correct. Okay, सबको समझ आया? So these analysis of graphs. So see, that's why I told you that graph can be asked, maxima minima can be asked. Maxima minima. In a differential equation, this can also be a question. They can ask you about which point the graph is becoming maximum or minimum. I hope this much is clear. This is homework, सबको करना है. One very important part of homogeneous equation that I am going to discuss is Wronskian. Okay, that is known as Wronskian. Okay, so what is this concept? Suppose you have a differential equation like this, homogeneous d2y by dx2 plus p dy by dx and plus qy is equal to 0. Suppose this is the differential equation and the solutions of this equation you have seen they will be in the form of this. देखा अभी तक या नहीं आपने? For second order differential equation there are two solutions in fact, and those two solutions are the final solution is linear combination of both, and when right hand side is 0, y1 is also solution, y2 is also solution, and y is also solution of this differential equation that you have seen for homogeneous differential equation. So these two are known as y1 and y2 are known as linearly independent solutions of differential equation. They are known as linearly independent solutions of. Everybody understand what is linearly independent? That that means y1 cannot be written in terms of y2 by just multiplying with a constant. Y1 cannot be written in terms of y2 by multiplying it with just a constant. That cannot be done. That means linearly independent. Okay, ठीक है? जैसे I cap और J cap vectors, they are linearly independent. One cannot be written in terms of other by just multiplying it with a number. अब ध्यान से देखना. We define a Wronskian
Sir,
W
what you have written after R, Y1 and Y2 are K by A?
known as. So in short, I can write known as. Okay, linearly independent solutions of differential equation. So how this W will look like? Y1, Y2, Y1 dash, Y2 dash. This determinant value is known as Wronskian. And if Wronskian is not equal to 0, that means solutions are linearly independent. And if Wronskian is equal to 0, that means solutions are linearly dependent. So in most of the cases, in our cases, it will be linearly independent. So what is the meaning of W? It is actually y1 y2 dash minus y1 dash y2. Y1 y2 dash minus y1 dash y2. Correct? यहाँ तक बात सबको समझ आती है?
What will be linearly independent when Wronskian is not equal to 0?
y1 और y2 भाई.
पर वो सर आपने ऑलरेडी लिखा है.
y1 and y2.
But you already wrote that line. Na? Y1 and Y2 are known as linearly independent solutions of DE.
Yes, yes. So I told you na, in our case the solutions will be linearly independent. That means you will be getting Wronskian not equal to 0.
Okay, sir. Thank
So one more definition of Wronskian comes like this: y is equal to c e to the power minus integral p dx. Please note down this also. And actually this is from some x naught to x. W is equal to c times some x naught to x, and the value of c is actually the value of w at initial point. See, this formula is also known as Abel's formula. Abel's formula. So these are important points which I am giving you. This is number 1, A. This is B. This is C. This is very important. This is D. This is very important. And E. E is that if if one independent solution is known and Wronskian is known, you can write the other solution. How? So y2 is given by y1 integral w by y1 square dx. So please see this formula. If y1 is known and w is known, one solution is known and Wronskian is known, then we can calculate the another solution, that is y2. So ये इतने पॉइंट्स थे रॉन्स्कियन में, और बड़ा इंपॉर्टेंट है, सीधे 5 मार्क्स का क्वेश्चन फॉर्म करता है कई बार. तो वी विल डू सम क्वेश्चन आल्सो, बट प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दिस मच फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल.
Sir, what are x naught and x?
So x naught is initial point, because if a differential equation is given, some conditions are given na, at some initial point,
Yes, sir.
and x is simple variable x which is of your differential equation.
Okay, sir.
Okay, so can I erase this? You have noted it down, everything about Wronskian? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So let me try to calculate Wronskian. See, let me straightforward. I want to discuss one question that was asked in previous year exam. So let me write the question completely so that you will get a sense of what is the language of the question in this particular case. Okay. So please write it. Uh, let x1 and x2 be the let x1 and x2 be the two linearly independent solutions of differential equation. Two linearly independent solutions of differential equation d2x by dt2 plus 2 times dx by dt plus some function of t times x is equal to 0. And if some xi t is given by x1 x2 dot minus x1 dot x2 and xi 0 is given as 1 and xi 1 they have asked. Xi 1 is question mark. Okay. So this is the question. Please see carefully. So if x1 and x2 are two linearly independent solution and they have written here x1 x2 dot minus x1 dot x2, that means this is Wronskian. Can you figure it out quickly?
Yes, sir.
If x1 and x2 are two linearly independent solution, that means this is the Wronskian. Yes? And the value of Wronskian can be very simply written. I mean, here Wronskian is written as xi, so I should use the same notation. It will become equal to xi 0 is also given, which is the value of c in the Abel's formula. This initial point is given. Can you see that? So this is 1 into e to the power minus integral 2 dx, which is e to the power minus 2x. Correct? And you can integrate it from 0 to x for sure. So what is xi 1? This is answer. This question was a 5-mark question. So you can see that if you have not gone through with Wronskian, you will have no idea that what is happening.
Sir, how you written C?
It is given here, na? Please see. C was what? The value of Wronskian, which is xi, at initial point. In the Abel's formula, check. Check with the Abel's formula.
Yes, sir.
Suppose you have another equation d2x by dt2 plus omega square x is equal to 0. So there is no p here, क्योंकि p तो dx by dt का कोफिशिएंट होता है, it is not there. Yes?
Yes, sir.
So the value of c needs calculation of initial point, that is not also given. But we can follow another method which you have learned, that d square plus omega square is 0 and d becomes 0 plus minus iota omega. So x becomes a cos omega t plus b sin omega t. So the value of x1 will become cos omega t, value of x2 will become sin omega t. Calculate the Wronskian quickly. Independent things are known. So the Wronskian W will be equal to x1 x2 x1 dot x2 dot. बताओ आंसर मुझे क्या आएगा?
Omega, sir.
Omega. Very good. कैलकुलेट करना भाई बाकी लोग. And suppose omega is known and suppose one solution is known. तो the second solution x2 will be क्या हो जाता है? Cos omega t ना? y1 integral Wronskian by क्या लिखते हैं?
By 1 square.
Sin square omega t dt. correct? So this will become cos omega t into integral cosec square omega t dt. And what is integral of cosec square?
Cot x.
Yes,
Cot x.
cot omega t by omega.
सर वहाँ पे cos ओमेगा डी नहीं आएगा?
Sorry,
Yes, sir. Cos square omega t in x2.
कहाँ पे?
x1 square.
Oh, sorry,
Initially
sorry,
omega by.
गड़बड़ कर दिया मैंने, sorry. So this will become cos omega t integral w over cos square omega t dt. So it will become cos omega t omega integral sec square omega t dt. And what is sec square का integration? tan का derivative होता है ना
tan t, tan ओमेगा t.
by omega. Yes, this will be cancelled and it will become sin omega t. देखा? सभी लोग करके देखेंगे जो मैंने अभी अभी किया है. प्लीज डू इट अगेन. बताओ भाई. Every step is okay. Now for doubts,
Yes, sir.
you have any doubt you can ask. Keep revising everything because then only we will be able to do the partial differential equations. And this also minimum 2 questions. You see any paper, this part. Sometimes I have seen 3 questions, one from mechanics, one from classical mechanics, and one from mathematical physics. So be careful about this.
So there will be no integration constant
Where?
in x2 solution.
No, constant I am not writing. That will be absorbed. This is just the value of the function. Constant is multiplied already, na, a and b. When you write the solution, you see a and b. So just what are these functions that we are interested in?
Okay, sir.
ठीक है, चलो. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.